if we're not instantiating our objects, where do we instantiate them? Somewhere we have to do this. So typically what happens when you apply dependency injection is you get many small interfaces, which is good because each one of them is very cohesive. They're loosely coupled to one another. They follow the single responsibility principle. They follow the interface segregation principle. But at some point, you have to actually create these objects. There's a couple of different choices for this. The first one is you can create a default constructor that then inherits from your constructor that actually takes in the interfaces and provides a default implementation of each of those interfaces. So in the example that we showed, we had an online order that took an iNotification service as one of the parameters in the constructor. We could create a default constructor that automatically passes in a new notification service, which is our default implementation of the iNotification service. Now any code that is calling this will continue to work just as it did before, and we'll still be able to inject alternate implementations, for instance, in our tests when we wish to do so. This is sometimes called poor man's dependency injection or poor man's IOC. IOC means inversion of control, and we'll see that in just a moment. The other option is to manually instantiate everything in your application startup routine or main method. In a web app, this could be an application start in the global ASAX. And another option is to use an IOC container, which does the same thing, typically in the main or startup method, but it has a bunch of features that it supports so that you can wire these things up in an intelligent fashion and go to one place and see how your object graph is going to be set up for your application.